Hello and welcome to the weekly analysis. We currently have 6 weekly order I wouldn't necessarily call them all order blocks, but this is what's on the agenda for the week. So let's get started. First, we have AUDJPY, which is a JPY. As we can see, we oops, hold up. We broke structure here. So that makes our range from here to here. All right, price did pull back to the 78 and has become bullish. Now, that being said, let's go to the daily. We had a break here. Okay. And now we have the second push up. And then we have the break here. Okay. So my guess is, my thoughts are, price is going to pull back to this zone here, which is similar to what's going on with GJ, to then start pushing back to the top side. Okay. Let's look at the 4-hour. Let's see what it's got going on the 4-hour. So I would definitely be looking for price to either pull back to this zone or to somewhere up in here, somewhere up in these wicks. And I'm going to, or it could even pull down to this zone here, but let's go down in time frame. So on the 1-hour, let's see, I don't see anything, and it could just come down here, but I don't see where price, there's a 30-minute, but I need to see it on a higher time frame first. So there's a 30-minute there, and then there's a 30-minute imbalance. There's liquidity there. So I would definitely wait. As you can see, it did break. Go to the 4-hour. It did break structure here. So from here to here, it broke structure. So price could pull back to this zone here to then start selling back down. or pull back to this imbalance. Just say maybe even here to start selling back down. So that's what I would look for, price to pull back to one of these zones before selling. And then look for price to pull back and one in this area for the buy. For right now. Let's see. Okay, that's my thought on AUDJPY. Let's go back to the weekly. Yes, that's my thoughts on AUDJPY. It's definitely coming to retest this initial break of this violated order block. And again, it may come down further before pushing to the top side. GJ. For GJ, so we had a close below the low. Okay. I'm expecting GJ to pull back to, go to that daily. I'm expecting GJ to pull back somewhere in this zone here. Okay. Before pushing back to the top side. So with that being said, we had our break of structure. Price pulled back to the 88 and has almost tapped into the negative 27. So maybe the next day or two, it'll tap into the negative 27. Push back up to one of these zones. So we have the break of this low here. I do believe it will probably push back up. There's liquidity here. I do believe it will probably push back up to grab that liquidity. And then there is a baby order block above that and some imbalance right in between that. So price could push up into this zone before selling back. There is this supply zone or this order block here. So price will probably come here, sweep these highs, and then continue to the downside. So again, tap into this negative 27, push back up, and then possibly sell back down to this zone here. Yeah. That's my thoughts on this is my institutional candle here. Let's go to the 2-hour. We have a zone here. Let's go to the 1 hour. Yeah, this would be the zone that I would look for price to come back to, somewhere up in here. And then once it got here, of course, look for break a structure, change a character. Let me just look at the 15 and see what it's giving me. Look at the 15. See what it's giving me. Oh, it's giving a lot. Okay. There's the violated order block here. This has been tapped in already. There's an imbalance right there. So I would definitely, and then there's imbalance here. So somewhere in this zone, I would be looking for price to come back. If I had to narrow it down, somewhere between this line here and this zone here before taking the buy, back up. So we got 1, we're gonna have 2, and then we'll have 3. So before buying it back up to these highs. That's my thoughts on GJ. All right, GN. So we had a weekly bearish candle. Let's look at the bigger picture here, the monthly. So we have 1 push, 2 push. So I'm going to mark up the second push and expecting price to push back up to this 78 or 88. Okay. So with that being said, I would be looking for buys. And we had last month a monthly bullish candle. Let's look at the previous month before that. So price could sell down to this zone here for healthy price action and then continue buying up. So let's move that out the way and let's go to the weekly. All right, so here is a violated order block. The price has not come back to tap into. So I would be looking for price to pull back into this zone, or I would say wait for price to pull back into this zone. Yeah, you can sell it if you want, but price is currently in a daily order block. It ended the day on Friday with a bearish order block. Price could tap here, and then I would definitely wait for a candle close below this daily candle. If you get a candle close, then I would definitely say you can look for the continuation of the sell back to these lows. As you can see, this is our current swing. So if I fib the swing, okay, price pulled back. Hold on, the swing happened. We got this break here, this pull back, and then this push up. So yeah, I would be looking for price to pull back probably to the 88, somewhere in within these wicks. But it could come and wick again. This high was broken and price did come back in touch. So I would be looking for price to pull back in here somewhere and then the continuation of a buy. Of course, if price closes below these lows, then I would be looking for maybe this zone here. Okay. But I would definitely be looking for, hold on. So this broke here. It pulled back. Broke structure here. Internal structure. And it pulled back to the 88. So you may be getting the continuation of a sell down to these lows. But I would definitely, once price got here, you may get a pullback and then down to these lows here. Yeah. So currently it is selling. Currently it's selling. Okay. This was the last swing. This was the high. Didn't break, pull back, and started selling. So yes, selling, selling, selling. Let's look at the 4-hour. So yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay. So now that we're in this 4-hour demand zone, price is either going to, I don't see anywhere. Let's go to a high time frame. So it could take out this low and then maybe these lows and then push back up to this high. Let's look at the weekly highs. That low got broken. So price could do one of these numbers, come back to this zone, and then back to that zone. There's an imbalance here, so price could come and fill this 50% of that imbalance. Before pushing back to the top side. So let's go back down to the daily. So once price broke this low here, it could push back and then start selling again. Okay. USDCAD. USDCAD. Let's see what the deal is with USDCAD. Push. So my thoughts for USDCAD is that price is currently bullish. You actually have some liquidity here. Okay. So you have a break of structure here. So price is currently bullish. Now, this is a weekly order block. So price could pull back into this order block to continue buying. That's a demand zone there. And then you have this demand zone here for price to pull back and then could continue buying. Either one of these zones, I would be looking for the change of character and then targeting this zone right here. You have liquidity here. Okay. So you have this liquidity here. So we'll be looking for price to continue grabbing these highs. And then once it pulled back here, then maybe we'll look for the pullback from here to continue to take out this high, to take out this liquidity here. So that's my thoughts on UCAD. Mm-hmm. Now I'm going to narrow it down to the degree. But y'all get the picture, okay? Next, we have USDCHF. We have a weekly bullish candle. Let's see what's going on. USDCHF. If I look at the big picture, three. Okay, if I look at the big picture, this is our zone where we're going to be looking for price to pull back to. But until then, where did it put? Oh no. Okay. Until then, we have, let's look at the last range. So we have this is our last swing high. This is our last swing low. Price did not break. It came back up here, did not break above this high, started breaking structure to the downside, did not break above this, below this low, and has now shifted to the top side. So this could either range, because you have an order block, a weekly order block here, you have a weekly order block there. this could range in between this zone until it decides to want to, because you have liquidity here and then you have liquidity here. Okay, but as of right now, because we had a shift and we're looking at the weekly, we had the weekly to break this high, previous week's high, right? So now you're looking for price to, it's either going to break this high, close above, or wick above it and pull back to this zone here to then continue pushing to the top side. And this would be the target. So we're talking approximately on the low side, 300 pips. So I would definitely be waiting for a pullback to then continue back up to this zone here. And then whatever happens after that, again, we've had this break, higher time frame break. Okay. Price has not broken this structure yet. So, and then this break here. So once it had this break, it pulled back, didn't break here. So now you just have to trade the zones. And then once price comes up here, you'll know if price breaks above, then you can buy it up to, this zone is probably the 88. This is the higher time frame swing because of here and here, right? This is the higher time frame swing. That's 78. So if you are going to, if it's going to break above this zone, you can buy it up to the 78, which is about 529 pips. Based off price action, you might get 550 or even 600 pips. And then you may get the sell back. So if price breaks above, you may get the buy here, then you might get this, and then you would sell it back down to here, and then you may get your zone back up to these highs. That's my thoughts on USD-CHF. Okay. And last but not least is oil. So if I look at the higher time frame, I know that we had a break of structure here. Okay. And then we have a break of structure here. And then we have a break of structure here. Okay. And then once that happened, we had a market structure shift right here. All right. So based on the market structure shift, price pushed up, broke all these highs. I want to say, I'm going to guess and say price probably pulled up into this supply zone. Let's see. Not yet. Not yet. Okay. So price came and broke these highs. 1, 2. All right. So if I am looking, there is a strong key level right here. Okay. There's a strong key level right here. So what I would need, and based on last week, price closed below last week's low. This is last week's high. All right. So currently it is still bearish. Let's go to the daily. Price could pull back into here and then start selling, or back into this order block. It hasn't broke this low yet, or really it needs to break this low. Okay, so maybe it'll come take out these lows. So I would be looking for price to take out this low, reject, and then break some level of structure on the daily. And then from there, I would be looking for price to, then push back up and take out these highs. And maybe even start taking out these highs. So I would definitely be looking for price to take out this low. Is that a monthly low? A monthly. Okay, so it was at one point in time, definitely a monthly low. That high got swept and rejected, and then so pulled back and then started selling. So I would definitely be looking for it to take out these lows. If price closed below this low, then I would be looking for a continuation of a sell. As you can see, there's a monthly order block here. There's an order block here, right? But there's a monthly, I said order block. There is an order block here, but there's also a, there's also an imbalance here. Okay. However, I don't like trading imbalances. I need to see if price breaks below this zone. Okay, because this is a key level. All right. I need to see it pull back to one of these demand zones, whether it's this one here or this one here. And that's on the, I know we're on the monthly, but I would definitely go down. Looking to narrow my time frame on the lower time frames. So again, if price close below this low, and this is my key level, so I would be looking for a close below this key level. So then I would again be taking it from this zone to at least this zone, to at least this zone here, to see what kind of reaction you get. However, if price does not close below that low and it just wicks below the low for the week or even on the daily, if it just wicks the low, then we will be looking for price to come back and take out these highs, this high, and possibly this high. What did I mark? I don't know why I marked that up. Was that a weekly? That one was already taken out. So I can leave that alone. So we had this high, this low. Okay. So at some point, this one was taken out. So this one hasn't been taken out yet. That one's been taken out. So then we have these highs here. So the first target would be this high here. This might even pull back to this low, push down, wick, and then push back up. So, but I would definitely be waiting for price to take out this low or close below this low. One of the two. And that is all that I have for the week. If you have any questions, please drop them below. And I look forward to seeing how everyone how the trades play out for the week. So happy trading and see you all next week.